According to Irvin Mumbach, life is just not a Cheriboles. And that seems to be the case that we have with these two choices that we have in life. One is a disciplined life, and the other one is feel free to do whatever you want to do and pay the fiddler later. Well, that fiddler, that debt comes due. And sometimes it comes due very, very early, such as childhood diabetes. It's just, and the obesity that's now running through our young people. And there's a host of things. So in this world of choices that we have to make, that's our obligation, how do we prepare for it mentally, spiritually, and physically, and financially? What is it that we're going to believe? So in my world of dealing with this as a young teenager, Rabbi Funk is some folks that I read, and he said man is either committed or he's confused. I thought that was very meaningful to me. And then I've got out of the service and I went into business, and I found there's a couple other possibilities. Man can be somewhat confused about his commitment, or better yet, he's committed to confusion. And I believe that that's where we are today. You know, there is profit in chaos. And as a country, we really are experiencing some very serious diseases, financial diseases, where we're in debt, and debt is such a terrible thing. And we hardly prepared for it to handle it. And now it's almost, with young people, they're saying, why try anymore? And that's what people running a business are dealing with, our kids that really don't think it's a fair game. And so as we look at this stuff, this wonderful world that Yogi Berra once said, if you come to a fork in the road, take it, because the solution is not there. These two roads don't wind up at the same place. One is an absolute despair, and it's those people that simply say, don't pay any attention, and the information is not shared with you. That's a terrible thing, because there is incredible design in that world of chaos. And it becomes a commitment to those people that do it. And you find those folks, an incredible percentage of Americans are dismayed with their lifestyle. But there's a small group of people who function outside of what has been dictated to them in the educational system and the church system and our government. And they have looked at it and said, I will become responsible for what I learn. And now we have such incredible influences coming in. Peer group has always been a problem. But now, this wonderful world of AI, and it's absolutely has a devastating and yet is such a positive thing. Research can be done on it in such a special way, saving hours and hours and hours. And in the same sense, it's a way of getting to our young people. We need to build that foundation of what is wrong and what is right. If we can do that, a young person can make decisions, as can we all, about what we're willing to do, if it's right or wrong. And that comes into what I'm willing to look at. Does it hurt me emotionally? What I'm willing to listen to, does it have an effect on me emotionally? What I'm willing to eat to prepare for the distance that I'm going to have to go? How do I function in terms of the energy that it's need to resist? And those are the things that we really want to discuss, because it's based on a kind of a simple formula. Where there is a lot of truth, there's a lot of trust. On the other side, conversely, where there's little truth, there is little trust. And this little thing that we have called freedom, and we're all pursuing it, the freedom to do whatever we want to do, is that a profitable way? And we see the end result of that with the catastrophic happenings with our children today. To do what we want to do, or in a situation I study, it's the freedom to tell a story. But you have to live that story, you have to believe in it, and you have to trust the information that comes to you. And it's with that I have incredible gratitude. And that's the end result of where I'm going with this story. You know, to kind of build a foundation for this. The French Revolution were those that said, we are born in freedom, but we live in chains. And that becomes their base. But you know something? There's a lot of truth in that freedom is a labor. It is a constant that you have to maintain. And with that, a guy by the name of Nietzsche once said that the man has a difficult time keeping his word, keeping his promises. So that's what you're fighting with on a continual basis. Pressures every day to make you do something that maybe you wouldn't do by yourself. And therein lies the problem. Can we have that support? Can we have that foundation to say, I know who I am, and I know what I'm about, and I know what's good for me, and that is it. Can we do that?